Let's chat about brain fog. So brain fog is definitely something that we hear a lot about and a lot of people experience. Most of the clients that come to me definitely have this as one of their top 5 symptoms. And in last week's video, I talked about some symptoms that will lead you to believe that are kind of markers for brain fog. And these are just things like you can't focus on tasks, you have trouble remembering things, you just feel scattered, maybe more forgetful than usual, and it's kind of hard to concentrate and even hard to stay motivated. It can definitely show up as other things, but those are kind of some of the hallmark symptoms that you have brain fog. And so in this video, I want to talk about 4 root causes of brain fog, because here's the thing. We have brain fog. Yes, a lot of people have brain fog, and there are a lot of Band-Aid things that you can use for brain fog that might help it, might take it away, but it's really always the underlying issue that is causing brain fog that's still there. And so I am just always wanting to get to the root cause of whatever the health issue is. And so while you might need support while you get to the root cause, we always want to identify what that root cause is. And no matter how long it takes us to kind of recover from that or get rid of that, we want to be focused on that root cause. So let's look at 4 of these. Now, of course, there could be a lot more root cause issues, but these are probably 4 of the most common. Number 1 is parasites. So parasites, interestingly enough, definitely cause brain fog almost all of the time. Parasites, whenever we have these in our body, our body recognizes it as a foreign invader. And so it creates a cytokine response, an inflammatory response. And so whenever that happens, inflammation goes all throughout your body. And one of those places that it goes is, of course, your brain. And so having neural inflammation is definitely a cause of brain fog. And so that's actually how having parasites as an underlying issue can cause brain fog, and typically do cause brain fog. And parasites are something that most people have. There's a saying that goes, if you have a pulse, you have a parasite, just because you can get them from so many different places nowadays. Your water, even walking outside, pets. Like, you don't necessarily have to go to a third world country to get parasites. Now, I know many of us travel, and we probably have been to some of those places and probably picked up a parasite there, but it really just depends on what kind you have and how many you have, right? And so parasites are something that are very, very common. And one quick thing that I wanted to mention, and I'll put more information in the description of this video, is that I'll do a full moon cleanse, which is concentrated around parasite cleansing whenever we have a full moon, because they're more active and they're easier to kill during that time. And so I'm going to put a link that you can sign up to get more information about this full moon cleanse. I do it 4 times a year in the different quarters of the year. That will be April, July, October, and January. So depending on when you're watching this video, you can sign up for more information and see when the next one is coming. So parasites, definitely a root cause of brain fog. Another root cause of brain fog can actually be deficiencies. So parasites can definitely cause brain fog. Also, deficiencies. That's the second thing that could cause brain fog, and kind of more of a root cause of this. And so just 2 that I want to mention. There's several different deficiencies that could play into this, but something like B vitamins, B12 specifically, is needed for healthy nerve function. And so when we have deficiencies in particularly B vitamins, then sometimes we have a cognitive decline and slow thinking and poor memory, and brain fog can even come from that. Another issue is magnesium deficiencies, which are very, very common. That is something that most people are deficient in. And 2, we burn through so much magnesium when we're in the stress response. And so most of us have extra added stress in our lives. And so it's just something that many people don't get enough through their diet, and don't supplement properly with that. And so whenever we don't have enough magnesium, it negatively impacts our brain health, which can lead to brain fog symptoms, such as difficulty concentrating that I was mentioning earlier. So deficiencies are another root cause of brain fog. And this is why I love to do a hair test on all the clients that I see, because it's definitely a piece of the puzzle. I don't only do hair tests, because I also want to look at blood work to see signs and symptoms. I look at blood work and then compare them with the signs and symptoms that are most pressing for clients so that I can put all of these pieces together and give the clients that I work with the absolute best plan for them. It's very, very individualized. So this is one root cause and can be one root cause of brain fog deficiencies. So we have parasites, deficiencies, and I'm going to kind of lump the last two together, which would be Borrelia bacteria, which is also known as Lyme disease, and co-infections that can often go with that, and then mold. I'm going to lump those two together because they have a very similar sort of pattern that even the parasites do. Because whenever your body recognizes these, that, they're not really supposed to be in your body, your body mounts this inflammatory response, which again can really affect the inflammatory levels in your brain, which causes brain fog almost instantly. If you've ever eaten something that has created inflammation in your body, kind of more of like a spike of inflammation, you can definitely have that foggy brain after you eat. That could also be linked to blood sugar, but you might be interested, why is she not talking about food sensitivities or blood sugar issues as it relates to brain fog? Those honestly are just downstream effects of these root causes. And I really want to get to the upstream causes, right, of these downstream issues. And so that's why I'm not really talking a whole lot about those, because they're really coming from deeper seated issues. If you're having food sensitivities and if you're having blood sugar issues, that's not the root cause of your brain fog. Parasites, deficiencies, Borrelia bacteria, which is also known as Lyme, and mold are often the causes of this. Now, these could also be related to things like impaired drainage pathways, built up toxicity in the body, mitochondrial damage. This really, though, is all kind of woven together, and it really is a whole picture, right, of what's going on here, because your body is just all connected, right? You can't really think about brain fog and not think it's connected to everything else that's going on in your body. So I really encourage you, if you have identified, okay, I have brain fog, what am I going to do about it? Of course, like I said, there are things that you can do, and I'm going to put some symptomatic relief that I actually made a reel about, and I'm going to add it, the link to it in the description of this video, about things that you can do that are supplemental as you're going through the healing process and really, really getting to that root cause of brain fog so that you can have some relief. But again, I want you to get to the very root of what's going on so that you can heal that. And you don't have to worry about constantly taking all the supplements or using all of whatever support that you're using to help with your brain fog. I want to have it gone, right, for good. And so that's my goal always. So I hope this helps you kind of narrow in to see what might be the very root cause of your brain fog. And you might be wondering, how do I know if I have parasites? How do I know if I have deficiencies and some of these other things? There are definitely tests that you can get done. I'll just tell you the way I like to go about working with clients on this. Again, I mentioned doing a hair test. I mentioned getting blood work labs done. And I mentioned going off signs and symptoms that they are telling me these are, my top signs and symptoms that I'm dealing with. And then they're of the most importance. And so what I do is I put the pieces together. Blood work plays a huge part in this because there are different markers that, for instance, parasites will throw off in your body. There are different markers that mold will throw off in your body. And so what I do is go through and pick apart blood work and see what's low, what's high. I narrow in the ranges so I can see what's out, high or low, and just put the pieces together. I look at, of course, what are the symptoms that you're telling me you're having? Does this relate to those deficiencies that we might be seeing on a hair test? So I hope that you can see how I like to do it. Again, every practitioner is different, but I really do encourage you, if you are dealing with brain fog, to look a little bit deeper and not always just try to kind of put on a Band-Aid to this issue. And I know that there's some natural ones that are great, but you want to get to the root cause of what's really, really causing this issue. So if I can help you in any way, please let me know. I'm going to put all my contact information below in the description of this video. And if you love getting to the root cause of your issues and really all things holistic health and integrative health, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel, because I put out a new video every single Wednesday on a different topic, answering a question. And if you have a question you'd like to be answered on the next video that I put out, or a video in the future, let me know. You can always comment below or connect with me, however might best fit you, and all those links are in the description. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next video.